Yes, Commissioners, the witness also wanted to complete the point related to the section 27 that he saw, and that this presentation corroborates that. If we can go to slide 2 or page 2, and then you can explain from there.
I think you should go to page 3, the top.
No, page 2, so because it outlines all of
Oh, yes. The background of the matter is explained. It's explaining the gist of the matter about what was on the section 27. So what I want to point out is on point number 4, which is at page 3.
But perhaps all of them help you.
All right.
If you recall all of the aspects you said you saw.
Yes, but from number 1, 2, 3, and 4, which the first one is talking about the Luchaba matter, the second one is talking about the forklift matter, the third one is talking about the promotions and vettings, then the fourth is talking about the PKTT, and it explains now what I was explaining that I saw on the 27th. So that information that I was relating, Chief Perumal now, he's putting it in his presentation, which is at point number 4.
22 January 2025.
That is correct, Chair.
The presentation is dated 22, but it was sent to the team on the 16th of January.
And this presentation, was it delivered?
It was delivered, Chair and Commissioner.
And it's delivered as in it was presented?
It was presented. I think Advocate Ramsamy will talk more because on the day of the presentation, she also added from the prosecution side. Then she'll be able to explain it further. I just wanted to indicate that that fact that I said I saw initially when I was browsing quick, it is now reflected on the presentation that was prepared by Chief Perumal.
Did you attend the presentation?
Yes, I was present at the presentation.
Was Ms. Johnson present?
She was present.
So Ms. Johnson was aware as at the date of that presentation that you went and consulted and you are working off a section 27 referral that deals with those items.
That is correct, Chair and Commissioner.
Thank you.
In fact, the cover email says the presentation is to be submitted to her.
That is correct, Commissioner.
So the email of 16 January.
That is correct, Commissioner.
But to corroborate Advocate Ramsamy's page 1 of the presentation, what the project was named, if you can just display that. Just very quickly, do you know where the name comes from? Why was it called Operation Diversion?
Chair and Commissioners, I don't know where the name came from, but I know it was called Project Diversion.
Enlighten us.
I can't say more, I just know that it was called diversion. But as to how did it come about, I don't know.
Sorry, Ms. Boy. Just perhaps even if it's just for completeness, in that page 3 of the presentation, the very last paragraph, it says, and further suspects, this is the Member of Parliament, he makes the allegation about General Kumalo, senior managers, together with General Luchaba, for abusing COVID funds. and then this is the part, and further suspects that the National Commissioner, General Masemula, may be involved in some of these allegations. Do you recall Mr. Adams saying that in your consultation? And if he did he say more than just I suspect? Did he say why, if he did?
I can't recall this part, but also I can't dispute that it might have been said. So I
You have
can't,
no recollection?
I don't have any recollection of this, Chair.
Thank
and
you.
Commissioner.
Number 3 at page 2. What was that about? Was it about the Brigadier Mokwele matter or not?
At the time, it was just phrased as this. So the probable word that they may have been used is the BMW lady, but not the name.
I'm asking because...
No, I didn't read it properly.
Yes.
Yes, there were no names mentioned here. It was just phrased as it is.
Yes. I want to see how we relate this or do not relate it to a point you made earlier, which was that there was no mention of the Mokwele matter at some stage early on. Can you just give me clarification with regard to number 3 and what you said earlier?
I will start it when we were grouping the cases. It was Luchaba, Madondo, Forklift, and PKTT.
Yes.
So
And that was because there was no issue about...
there was no yes. So if the name could have came up, it would have maybe just randomly came, but not in a context of it being a case to be investigated.
As the presentation was being made, were you able to understand how number 3 could suddenly have featured?
No, it was not. I couldn't.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Raphesu, maybe to take you back to something you said earlier in the morning, and I hope my recollection is correct. When you were saying the 2 matters that you were involved in, you specifically said you were involved in the Luchaba matter, and then you said you were involved in the Madondo matter, which later became the Mokwele, or was then known as the Mokwele matter. And if I'm not mistaken, that Madondo matter was related to a promotion, and it had vetting issues, and that, am I incorrect?
You had me correct, but the issue now is from the 4, I don't know because I was removed. I don't know when did Mokwele overtake the Madondo. So that's why I was just phrasing it in that context that at the beginning there was no Mokwele, but suddenly then there was Mokwele now overtaking the Madondo.
So what this means is that number 3 could well have been referring to the Madondo matter.
That is correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Then, I think that should cover your consultation. I want to say for now. Yeah. I'm hopeful, Commissioner Kumalo, that you won't
Ms.
need
Bowe,
it.
are you done with the notes that are MRR4? I just wanted to check something. If you are closing that part,
No, you can proceed, Commissioner Bulai.
okay. Mr. Raphesu, your notes that we were looking at earlier, they start at page 31. And it's really a short question. If you look at page 32, and that whole page seems to be concerned with the housebreaking at General Luchaba, the housebreaking matter, or the General Luchaba matter.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Now, you have there certain telephone numbers of two people as a side note, and one of them is Feroz Khan, and the other is Ian Small Smith. Do you remember why, who gave you these, and why, what were you to do, if anything, with these numbers? If you remember.
If I remember well, these numbers were provided by Chief Perumal, and Mr. Feroz Khan was one of the people that was identified that he will shed more light about the topic that we were talking about.
About the Luchaba matter. Well, maybe.
Yes, about the Luchaba matter.
Because the page looks like a Luchaba
Yes,
discussion.
it was mentioned that he will shed more light, and I think it has something to do with the reporting or something. It has something to do with the lost items that were reported to Khan, something like that.
Okay. So he would shed light on that.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And then the second name, is that a subs person? Ian Small Smith?
Hey, I can't remember.
Okay, you don't remember what was
I
said
can't remember
about
what was it all about.
it? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Paul.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. I'm advised by Advocate Siegels Nube that Mr. Ian Small-Smith is an attorney.
I thought there might be another one in the subs.
My apologies. And that I'm advised is according to Ms. Ramsamy. It was a poor. Hey, here's a double, triple. Commissioners, we are then going to move to the next topic, which is the instructions to subpoena General Luchaba's bank records. Mr. Raphesu, can you just explain briefly what happened in this regard, the instruction and how it came about?
What has actually happened is Advocate Ramsamy came to my office with a piece of paper indicating that the head of the office, Advocate Johnson, wanted me to draft a Section 28 subpoena. So I had a conversation with Advocate Ramsamy to say, but this we can't do because we don't have anything in the docket that talks to that. And I was raising my concern to say, if we do this, I'm not going to be able to explain tomorrow why I subpoenaed these documents. So I must say I was very...
For a matter relating to this.
At that point, it was the first time I was hearing it. So I was a bit harsh on her to say, no, I can't do, like, I even used those words that we use yeah. So, but eventually, she said that she's going to take my message back to the head of the office to say, so she wanted me to put it in a nicer way. So I did send a WhatsApp to say, can we at least stall or maybe wait until we get further information before we move on this?
And just so that we can, let's go to your message. Although I'm interested in the harsh language, but I'll just proceed to the message that you sent. If we can go to file 10 at page 172.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. And you'll see there This is from Advocate Ramsami's phone. It's screenshots that she took for her statement. And you'll see there's a message on the 11th of December 2024.
That is correct.
And up there, it also says forwarded.
That is correct.
Can you read that message?
Good morning, Advocate Drew. I have noted your instructions to prepare the Section 28. I was suggesting that we stall or park it until we consult with the complainant. The reason being that his affidavit are not drafted properly. We need to consult with him so that we may be in a better position to do same. I'll prepare them in the meantime so that after consultation we could move faster. Thanks.
So is now this the message that you sent?
That is correct, Commissioners.
Advocate Ramsamy testified that she then forwarded this message to the ID.
Maybe before you do that, the complainant that you referred to in your message to Advocate Ramsamy, who are you referring to when you say we need to consult with the complainant?
I'm referring to Mr. Fadil Adams, Commissioner.
Because you thought that this comes out of his complaint?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you.
After you sent the message to Ms. Ramsamy, what happened? Did she get back to you about?
She did get back to me, but she indicated that the ID did not take kind of me questioning her. So we were summoned now to Advocate Johnson's office, where now she now instructed me to draft the Section 28, and that's now when she explained that she got information about the 50 million, the slush funds and other things. So she also instructed me that I must do those 28 as in now, because she wants to sign them before she left the office.
And did she indicate where this information was coming from and or which docket it was even related to?
No, it was not mentioned.
And just an earlier thing that you said Ms. Ramsamy came in with a piece of paper. What was on the piece of paper?
On the piece of paper, it was just information about General Luchaba, but what I could pick up there, it was the ID number. So I had to do those subpoena on his ID number. Remember, the banks that he's banking with, we will not have, I don't think they will have got them. So the instruction was to use the ID number.
The instruction was to use the ID number, and then would you then send to all banks?
That is correct.
Then can we just go to the email? If you can go to page 173 of file 10.
I'm there.
Is that the email that you sent?
That is correct.
And why did you put that subject line?
The subject line, I think I did deliberately so that it can stand out from the others, just to show that there was a problem with this thing. So I wanted to be able to identify it sometime in the future so that I can be able to point out that there was an issue with that instruction.
So what was your choice?
Please read that subject line into the record.
Section what?
Thank you. And then if we can go to the section what itself. They are on the following page. If you can just go to the next page, 17. The first thing to note is on the following page, there's a number of annexures. Can you see that in gray blocks?
That is correct. I
Those
can
are
see.
the summons that you sent.
That
the
is correct.
draft. And then if you go to the next page, is this one of the summons?
That
you
is correct,
drafted
Chair, Commissioners.
For Advocate Johnson to sign?
That is correct.
Now, if we go to Annexure A, on page 176, you will note there that there's a background, right? Correct?
That is correct.
And when you look at the background, you indicate, my apologies.
No, I'm following. It's fine.
My apologies, it's me who can't see.
Oh.
In the background, you indicate the nature of the investigation that's been undertaken, that there's an investigation in terms of Section 1A. Can you see that?
That is, I can see.
But at the time, what was authorized would have been a Section 2813 in relation to the referral from Mr. Adams.
Yes, Chair, I noticed that, and I accept that it is an error on my part. It was supposed to be 2813. So the reason why it is because due to the pressure and the time that I was supposed to generate this document, I now went into the matter that I indicated that I was working on previously. So I just did a copy and paste thing. So I did not change the Section 1 to 13.
And then, but this was then checked and signed by the ID.
That is correct, Chair.
And just in the ordinary course, when you are preparing these, do they go directly to the ID, or is there a process through which they go up the chain?
The process it's supposed to be that the PM, project manager, is the one that is supposed to escalate those things and also to issue there's something that we call an LAR number. So it's a sequence of numbers where they follow each other to be able to track or to manage how the Section 28s are being controlled. So the process was supposed to be, it should move from myself to a project manager, then from the project manager to her office. But it did not move in that way. It went straight to her office this time.
And to your knowledge, for this case in particular, or this project, was there a project manager at the time you were involved?
No, there was not.
And just lastly on this topic, I know you communicated your issues in the text, but in the meeting, did you convey to Advocate Johnson that the issuing of this subpoena in the circumstances of very little evidence would be problematic?
I didn't even get a chance to speak. So I assumed that when Advocate Ramsamy went to her, she said enough. So I didn't even get the chance to speak. I was just told what to do.
Did you consider the meeting a consultation, or was it really just to receive the instruction?
No, it was just there to give the instructions.
All right. Thank you. Then, oh, my pleasure.
Just lastly from me on this, and because you were the investigator, I think you were the lead investigator, and you are the one that prepared this summons, maybe to get a comment from you. It's in fact what I want to propose or put to you for your comment, that this summons about the 50 million rand, in the absence of an underlying complaint or allegation properly that was given to you, like the Section 27 referral, in the absence of a complaint properly lodged, this process of a summons is a misuse of the Section 2813 process.
That is correct, Chair.
That is so.
That is correct.
Thank you.
And then, just out of interest, did this process ever yield any bank statements? Or by the time a response was received from the banks, you were no longer on this matter?
No, we got some results back, but when we received those, usually we give to the financial investigator to analyze, because sometimes it's a huge document. So what I will do is I will collect from the banks, and when everything is done, then I will provide it to the financial investigator. But I was removed before that process could finish.
Thank you. Then if we can go to paragraph 43 of your statement.
Paragraph 53.
No, my apologies, 43 on page 15.
Oh.
You indicated there that you made a report.
That is correct. I continued with the investigation on the Luchaba matter. I subsequently produced a report on the findings of the investigation. Then I submitted the report to Chief Perumal.
And then in relation to the Mokwele matter?
In relation to the Mokwele matter, I refused to work on that matter or to be involved in that matter, because while I was busy with the Luchaba matter, I became aware that Mr. Perumal and Mr. Padiachi were meeting some of the witnesses, I can say in the corners. They were meeting in some places that I was not aware of. So what will actually happen is they were booked in a hotel. So because I'm local, after work I'll just go home. Then when they are at the hotel, they were making arrangements to meet people, which they were bringing affidavits that I was not aware of. So I took issue with that. I reported to Advocate Ramsamy and Mr. Sisoko to say this is what is happening, they must deal with the matter. Eventually, I requested to be removed from that matter, and I was removed from the investigation of that case only.
And as a lead investigator, are the two other investigators allowed to proceed with investigations and interviews without you?
No, they were not allowed to. What should have happened is, even if they informed me that they are going, what was going to be, let me phrase it this way. If they informed me that there was a witness that they are going to see, and I have agreed to say, no, it's fine, then it will not be a problem. But for them just to identify someone and go and interview those people without my knowledge, that was not supposed to happen like that. Also, the prosecution lead indicates that before an affidavit can be authorized, or it must be discussed with the lead prosecutor. So when Advocate Ramsamy comes with the presentation, I think she will be able to complete that part where she will explain what the processes were supposed to be. But from your question, they were not supposed to have done that.
And do you know what kind of affidavits were being collected?
From what I was informed also is that there was a affidavit of a 204 that had already been obtained and that I was not aware of. So I took issue with that also.
And at what stage was that 204 taken, to your knowledge? When was it?
I could say that it was just in the beginning of the start of the investigation.
And why were you taking issue with that?
I'm taking issue with the issue of 204s because the normal standard practice it will be you investigate your case properly, so then when at least you are faced with the situation that you can't move anywhere or anyhow, that is the time that you can start considering those things. So, but to start obtaining 204 statement just in the beginning of the investigation, to me it sounded like this thing is directed somewhere or somehow. And
just for clarity, what is a 204?
A 204 is a statement that is obtained from, we call them person of interest, but it's a suspect. So we obtain that statement from the suspect that he will incriminate himself on the subject matter that is being investigated. Then he is assisting with the investigation on that.
And you say how soon, because the investigation was authorized on the 6th of December, how soon did they start collecting this 204?
No, I can just say just some days after that.
And then this also deals, commissioners, with the paragraphs 48 to 51. But just on the last answer that you gave, why is it problematic to get a 204 so early in the investigation?
It is a problem because you are running a risk of being misled by this person of interest, because he can actually divert or push you into a wrong path. Instead of obtaining the subjective investigation yourself, so that even if you are approaching someone, you can be able to detect if he's lying or what. So it is not advisable to start things at that way.
And so it was your view that this investigation was being directed in a particular way?
That is correct. That is the reason why I refused and said I can't get involved into this thing.
And when you raised these issues with Ms. Ramsamy and Mr. Siseko, did you get any feedback?
No, they gave me feedback. They indicated that I should continue concentrating on the Luchaba matter, and the other matter, the other two guys will continue with it. So that meant that because I was a lead on all these cases, then that means from the day that I was removed, then Mr. Padiachi assumed the responsibility of being a lead on that other matter.
On the Mokwele matter?
That is correct.
And you then retained the Luchaba matter?
That is correct.
Right. Chair, we are going to move on to the next subtopic. Maybe just to say that the recent exchange would deal with paragraphs 48 to 51 of the statement. What remains is a consultation with Mr. O'Sullivan and the disciplinary proceedings that were instituted against the witness.
Let's continue and see
how far we can
how
get.
it goes, yeah.
Now let's deal with your consultation with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, which takes place on the 13th of January. You deal with this at paragraph 45 onwards of your affidavit.
Yes, I was instructed to contact Mr. O'Sullivan and to find out from him what he was investigating and what whether he had reported or opened a case, so that if there was a case open, so that we can go and also collect the case. So during the interview, or just before the interview, he sent me 2 emails. On the emails, it's the document that I've already explained, the letter and the report that I've already indicated. So on the email...
Just one second. Commissioners, there would have been 2 other documents handed up. It's 2 emails, both dated Monday, 13 January 2025. The first is sent at 14:11. And there is the directive of the minister attached. That was the annexure in that email. If we can mark that annexure,
Which one do we mark first, the thicker one or
the one with the letter attached. This would be the thinner one.
the thinner one? Thank you. So 13, 1-3.
Yes. And then the second email was sent on the same day, Monday, 13 January 2025 at 14:28, which contains Ms. Mokwele's details. And that can be marked MRR 14. Yes, Mr. Raphesu, you're explaining about the 2 annexures?
Yes, the 2 annexures, I printed them as they are, then I recorded them in the docket to be filed. So I also made an entry in the diary of the docket.
And just for the record, the entry is annexure MRR 5. If you go to page 40,